So I haven't uploaded here in whatever it's been, a week. But better late than never, right? So today I'm home, as you can tell. I'm not at work. And it's kind of an overcast day, but kind of bright out here, I'll tell you. I'm getting ready to go down to our local Dollar General, because they're everywhere. Literally, you can drive out into, in the middle of Siberia in the woods, and there'll be a Dollar General out there, I'm sure of it. They built them everywhere. But anyway, I got to go down. Unfortunately, everybody has got, I won't say it's COVID. I mean, it could be, because my wife was exposed to it in the hospital, but whatever it is, they're sick. And so I got to go get all the appropriate medicines and things there. And so, yeah, I'll take you along for the ride here and we'll talk. So when it comes to challenges, there's always challenges to actually accomplishing your challenge beyond what it is you're doing. In other words, outside things take place. It's been pretty amazing that things have been really smooth for a long time, and I want to challenge myself on all these different things in life, and then all this stuff comes up. Now, this is no excuse, or I'm not complaining about it. I'm just observing that how life goes. My wife's been in the hospital in and out since Christmas. Here we are, coming up mid-February here or whatever, in beginning of February. And, between that and, of course I had to go to work. And then now, today, the kids are sick, which I'm sure I'll probably get sick too. And my wife, on top of already having some issues, will be sick. And so it really makes it hard to focus on what it is you're wanting to do or what your goals are to meet your challenge. And I'll tell you, it's probably a good thing. It's almost like an exercise, really. I mean, it gets you in tune for when things get hard, or they say when things get tough, the tough get going. And so that's kind of what's happening right now. But that's okay, no big deal. Just keep putting along here. Thank God I have a job that I've been able to take weeks and weeks and weeks off. Matter of fact, I'm on 15 days off right now, about in the middle of it. And, hopefully my wife will feel better at the end of this, and I'll be able to go to work and still maintain everything we got going on. But in the meanwhile, still working on all the challenges. The weight loss thing, like I said, I'd probably fail, but I'll get back up. Well, yeah, I'm getting back up. Today's the day. And by no means does this mean that, I'm a failure at this. It just means more practice, more dealing with how life really goes. Generally when we see people successful in life, whether it be on YouTube or people you may know or on TV, they don't usually tell you how things go along the way. And, that's valuable information we can really use. I mean, if, we fail and then we get back up, and then it's even harder when you get back up. Generally you don't hear that. I mean, unless there's some kind of a documentary or you know, something about someone's life or a video like this, then you will hear these details. I mean, that's basically just telling the truth, just being you. And so that's what I'm doing here. You know, I'm getting back up. We're going again. I've talked about the apparel business. Mostly it's my daughter that we're trying to get into this, is take it on as her own business, but we're all doing it right now. And there's been some success there. We've already done, within a couple of days, we did over $2,200 in sales on, well, it's actually on hoodies and shirts like what I'm wearing here, a special custom print. Nothing that you can really base a business on. It's going to be like a once a year thing because it's just too much work, you know, doing all the custom. Each hoodie and shirt has to have specific words and numbers on it compared to others, so you can't run it like a traditional business where you can just make 100 of them and just send them out when people buy them. It's much more difficult, but it, you know, it's practice. My daughter, she's been doing this now with us for several years. She does well, and I'm hoping she takes it up on her own there for sure. And yeah, maybe we can get some new equipment, move on to things that you can buy year-round. So, I mean, I mentioned this before in my previous videos. You know, that's one of the challenges, to be able to work for ourselves. By no means would it just be one thing, you know. Hey, I'm doing the YouTube thing. This actually pays money. This particular channel is not paying any money, but I do get some money from my other YouTube channel. And, you know, I think the idea is to want to be an entrepreneur. Well, what's an entrepreneur? That's somebody that they're not into one business, they're into half a dozen, and probably working on some other ideas too. For some people that may seem exhausting, or their idea of making a living or making money would be, oh, it's so much easier just to get a job and just show up, you know, and then go home at the end of the day. Well, that's true, but you have what you have. Generally at work, I mean, yeah, you could get promotions and do some things like that, but overall, it is what it is, you know, versus as an entrepreneur, you can do whatever you want. You can change your business. You can go into a different business. You can have multiple businesses. You can have people run your business for you and just oversee. I mean, there's so many options. And yeah, it does require a lot more work, but, you know, my thought is that I like that a lot more than I do, you know, just going to work every day. But, you know, speaking of work, that, you know, that brings up a subject here. I was watching a live YouTube here yesterday, and as you know, I'm part of the truck driver community, and so it's actually an ex-truck driver. He just quit after working 3 years, and he had a live going, and he was basically just kind of running the whole truck driver thing into the ground, saying, well, you make the least amount of money out of any jobs driving a truck, which seems kind of insane on its face, because you think, well, wait a minute, truck drivers, they can make anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 a year, and owner operators, you know, where you own your own truck, even more. But, you know, I have to agree with some of what he says. Some of what he says is that that you have to look at the fact that it's your time you're putting out, right? So you're working 24 hours a day. Yeah, granted, you're sleeping, but I mean, you're in the sleeper, you're not home, you're not actually working, but I mean, it's your time, right? I'm here at the store now. So it's your time you're putting in, and it makes a lot of sense. That's true. You start averaging out 24 hours a day on what you made for the day, and yes, it will come out to be that it's one of the lowest paying jobs that you can get. There's no doubt about that. Thing is, though, at the end of the year, that number is much higher than most other jobs. Pretty hard to work down at the mini mart or at McDonald's or one of these places and make $100,000 a year. So it just depends on how you look at it. But, it really got me thinking how this relates to being an entrepreneur, working for yourself. And here's how it relates. One of his examples is that his father and his brother, I think it was, or his cousin, they worked for the school system somewhere in the Bay Area as custodians, and how they were making, I think his dad was making 54 an hour, and the cousin or brother or whatever was making almost 40 or something like that. And it's like, well, that's cool. It sounds like a good job, a union thing, probably a lot of benefits and that kind of thing. But, we talk about what our time's worth. Is it really worth our time to be in the truck all the time and not have a social life? And but then again, it's like, but you're spending half your time cleaning toilets. And that really is the reality of it. I mean, when all through high school I was a janitor. Granted, it was for a nursing home, which was pretty nasty, but still, I know what it's like to see those same walls every day, see those same people, hear the same stories. Everything's the same every day. And then, there's nothing glorious going on. You're mopping floors, you're cleaning toilets, you're picking up food, you're picking up litter, you're bending over, you got your hands in nasty water, all kinds of stuff. That's how you're going to spend your life. And so, it's one thing to compare, well, I'm getting more for my money because I'm only here 8 hours a day. Well, it just depends on how you look at it. An entrepreneur, maybe they spend 80, 90 hours a week working, doing stuff they don't really want to do, but it's not forever if you're successful at it and you do well. When you get a job like the one I'm describing, where, they were part of the school system, that's it. That's what you're doing. It's not changing. And some people are like, that's great. I'll retire doing that. And it's like, you're going to spend your whole life doing that. Are you sure about that? It's like me driving a truck. I've done it 22 years. Do I want to spend my whole life driving a truck? Yeah, I'm sure that I don't. And so, you know, when I say money isn't everything, it's because this is your life you're doing here. It's not just a matter of how much money am I getting for my time, but what is it you're spending your time doing? You know, some people may look at a truck driver position and think, but you live in that truck. And, we're so stuck on, oh, we got to be with our family and all this stuff. And, it's true, you should be with your family. But the thing is that um, it's more exciting. I see new things every week. I'm all over, well, I used to be all over the United States, and now I'm all over the West Coast, and constantly seeing new things, new faces, new people, new situations. One of the comments that was made is how this was such one of the most dangerous professions. But you know what? Sometimes you need a little danger. You need something where it's real. If you really do need to navigate through some really bad weather, some really bad drivers, bad situation, you know, look at how we are when we're young. Not everyone, but a lot of them. We're jumping out of airplanes, parachuting or whatever, skydiving, um, you know, snowboarding or skiing, going off cliffs, flipping and doing all this stuff. Uh, you know, four-wheel drive pickups, climbing mountains, around on the edge, could roll it. You're not getting paid nothing for that. That, well, some people do, but overall, we as people, we all go through some degree of that, I should say. Not everybody goes that extreme, but I mean, there's smaller things that people may do, that maybe just hiking or whatever. You know, you can get attacked by a bear, you can fall off a cliff, there could be a landslide, all kinds of stuff. And so the degree of taking chances and getting that thrill, getting that thrill that, you know, just kind of satisfies you. Obviously, we like that as a people. Some people don't, but most people do, at least to some degree. And, you know, So the idea of what is it I'm getting for my money? You know, my time is valuable to me. Well, you want to be cleaning toilets or do you want to be out, seeing mountain ranges, big cities, wild animals, weather, different parts of the country, talking to different people every day, or do you want to be cleaning toilets? You know, um, maybe you're getting a better value for your dollar cleaning the toilets, but yeah, this is our life we're living. So it it's one of those things where we can try to apply logic to it, but then you think, well, wait a minute, you know, logically, shouldn't we be looking at the whole picture, like how we feel about what we're doing, you know, what excites us, what bores us, what, is interesting. Um, it seems to me that these things aren't being accounted for in this, what is it you're doing for your money? And so that's all I'm saying. There's no wrong way. But so that's my thoughts on the challenges here this week. It's look at the big picture. What's everything you want to do? You know, where do you want to be now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And how do you want to spend it between now and then? So that's what I got for you this week, and well, hopefully I will be out here a little bit more often. Been a little busy lately. No excuses. All right, catch you guys later.